Hey, what's up guys? This is Yam again, back with a new Minecraft Dungeons video. Today, I thought it would be a good time to talk about which build I'm currently using for the highest Apocalypse Plus, and of course also how I deal with those raid captains, because some of you guys had questions about how I can actually one-hit kill them. So we're gonna pretty much talk about all the weapons and armor I use, which artifacts, which enchantments. I'm gonna talk about everything you need to know, how you can deal with the highest Apocalypse Plus pretty easily, and of course how we can take care of those raid captains without a problem. I mean, there are some pretty cheesy tactics that allow you to do these levels pretty easily by getting all the 3 mystery banners or 3 threat banners, and of course not risk your life while doing it, so you can have a chance of finding the best power level items in the game. That is exactly what we're gonna do right now. So guys, let's get right to it. Alright, so here we are in the base camp. Let me quickly show my inventory, and I know I made a video about this many times already, about my build, what I'm currently doing. I also explained it in the live streams, but I just want to stress some things out that make it very easy to deal with very tough mobs on the highest Apocalypse Plus, including of course the raid captains, how I can one-shot kill them pretty much. So first off, I have my fighter's bindings right here. I still really love this weapon. I mean, I couldn't find anything that's better than this. It is almost irreplaceable in my opinion. The fighter's bindings with a built-in swirling tier 3, shockwave, critical hit, and radiance. Some people would take committed or something else over critical hit, but I just really love those red numbers, so I'm just gonna keep this combination. I mean, it's a very good roll. Took me a lot of time to farm for this one, but fighter's bindings are definitely really awesome for the highest Apocalypse Plus, especially because you have a lot more survivability with radiance. The leeching can be okay, but it only gives you HP after killing them up, and radiance actually does it all the time. Then next up, I use the wither armor. This one has the chilling, the snowball, and the final shout. The chilling I use for the highest Apocalypse Plus because it reduces both the movement and attack speed of enemies, and they are extremely fast on this difficulty. So chilling is the single most powerful enchantment to get your hands on for armor on this difficulty. Next up, we have the snowball, and you already saw my video yesterday where I pretty much stun mobs one by one, and with a snowball you can do exactly that. This triggers every single second, so if you have one mob isolated, if you take that one down, it has no chance of attacking you because it will permanently stun with the snowball. Then last but not least, we also have the final shout. This is actually a pretty tricky one, but let me just show you a clip of yesterday in my video about the raid captains. You can see exactly right here that I'm actually abusing the final shout to on purpose pretty much trigger all my artifacts, including of course the torment quiver. So it can be pretty easy to actually get those torment arrows even if you don't have any souls. Of course this can work for any artifact, so it is really powerful, but some people would take cooldown reduction over this one. I still think the final shout is very awesome. Then my ranged weapon. This is the Winter's Touch. So I'm using this one because it fires 3 arrows when charged. And this is extremely powerful because if you combine that with enchantments like the roll charge, you can actually, after performing a roll, shoot charged attacks. And in combination with that, we also have the supercharge. So every time when we roll, we don't only automatically charge our attacks, but they also become supercharged with a plus 40% increased range damage. And then, yeah, of course, on top of that, we also have the dynamo. So every time when you reroll, you have the charged up attacks, they are supercharged, and next to that you also have the dynamo. So if we roll and then shoot, oh boy, this deals so much damage. So right now if I just shoot a regular shot without any charging, it feels exactly like this. It deals 370,000 damage. If I fully charge it, it deals 1.3 million, so that is really nice. But right now, if I do a roll, look at that. I shoot 1.3 million per arrow, that is, by the way. So look at that. We can shoot so many arrows. This volley is insane. And if you combine it with a torment quiver, yeah, it's just insane, man. You can shoot so many of these arrows, and the cool thing is it annihilates everything in its path. I mean, if you roll just once, one dynamo, use a torment quiver, look at that. We deal 20 million damage for each arrow shot. So I think it is definitely very interesting to get your hands on for the highest Apocalypse Plus. Then for the artifacts, I'm using the Gong of Weakening. This one weakens enemies around you, of course, making them more vulnerable, but at the same time, they will deal less damage. So if I get hit brutally, pretty much. The final shot will trigger, the Gong of Weakening will trigger, of course, so that means I will weaken the enemies around me. I can actually take them down a lot easier, and they will also deal less damage to me, so I think that is really awesome for survival. Then we also have the Deathcap Mushroom, of course, always a top tier artifact to use for any difficulty, pretty much, for speedrunning as well. You will simply double your attack speed, which means, of course, a double damage output, but at the same time, you also benefit from things like Radiance a lot more frequently because they pop up twice as fast as well. So that pretty much greatly improves your survivability. Then, last but not least, we also have the Torment Quiver, of course, exactly what I just told you guys, 20 million damage per arrow with only just one roll. I think it's pretty impressive. Of course, if you're standing really close to the target, you will deal that damage 3 times. Alright, so that's it for the build. Pretty easy, right? I mean, you don't need the Wither Armor, you don't need the Winter's Touch. This is just some basic information that can definitely help you with choosing your enchantments on the pieces of armor and weapons which you find in your adventures. But right now, of course, we're going to talk about the Raid Captains. How you can get your hands on 6 banners and, of course, also the best power level loot. So let's search for a very difficult daily trial. So right here, we have one on the Underhalls. I think that's really nice. Player speed increased by 20%. Players have Ricochet. 50% of the mobs have the freezing enchantment. Okay, that can definitely be a very annoying one. This is not my favorite daily mission, but at the same time, I think it's a really nice one to showcase exactly what we need to do to get, of course, those banners very easily. So let's get right to it. Alright, so guys, here we are in the Underhalls. This one also just dropped during the live stream, guys. A AC adapter for my Sony ZV-1, which is, of course, a face cam, which I'm using for my records and live streams. You guys know that it runs out of juice pretty quickly, right? Every 1 to 1.5 hours, I get this black screen on my stream. That is really annoying, and this should fix that problem forever. Also hope that the juice is gonna last for this recording as well, but I think it will. I mean, we fully charged it before the record. Anyways, to start off, guys, as you can see right here, the snowball is definitely helping me out to get these guys stunned every now and then, so I can take them down a little bit easier so they don't start hitting me. But I definitely recommend you to use your Deathcap Mushroom at the beginning. If you have a sticky situation, you can also use a Gong of Weakening to take down multiple mobs pretty quickly. For example, right here, I just gong the middle of the room and take down these bad boys a lot easier. So my goal right now is to get my hands on as many souls as possible, as quick as possible, because then, of course, I'll be able to use the Dormant and Dynamo Quiver combo to pretty much one-hit kill all the mobs in the game. So this is already a pretty tough situation. These guys are freezing. The crossbows deal a lot of damage, but once again, we can just roll in, use our Gong of Weakening, and take down these bad boys without a problem. So that's already the first obstacles. Right now, what we're going to do, after we charged our Dynamo pretty much with the Torment Quiver, is search for the Raid Captains. And this is a pretty small level, but we're going to have to search every nook and cranny to find the Raid Captains. I think they're going to start popping up at the next floor, but I'll get to that in a second. Alright, so we just arrived at the second floor. So right here, we're gonna have to search for the blue key, which opens this door, of course, leads to the next floor. But if we open up the map for a second, you can see that there are many rooms. And around these parts, we will find the first Raid Captains. And I can already hear some Raid Captain music, so he's definitely pretty close to us. But we're not gonna kill the Raid Captains just yet. What we wanna do is take down every single mob pretty much. Try and get the blue key to get to the next floor. Also clear that entire floor and try to avoid the Raid Captains. Okay, so we already have the very first Raid Captain right here. I think these are pretty easy to dodge because, of course, they always run away from you when you get close. And oh, look at that. We just found a Fortress Spear and... Ooh, okay. I shouldn't have stared at those shinies. I should have dodged the arrows a little bit better. But a Fortress Spear, guys, that's really cool. So what you want to do is dodge his attacks, just... try to take down all the other mobs and search for the other Raid Captains. So we have the whereabouts of every single one of them. So if I open up the map right now, you can actually see that the Raid Captain is standing right there. And we're just going to search every nook and cranny so we know the whereabouts of every single one of them. But we're going to keep him on the battlefield. We don't want to kill him just yet, because if you kill him, they actually drop their banner. And the problem is they also disappear after a couple seconds. So we're just going to walk past this guy and ignore everything he's doing. Of course, sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice your life to get through, to let them on the battlefield, let's say. But that is all worth it, because without any modifiers, it is way easier to run through this level. Alright, so we just cleared this entire area. There were none of those raid captains right there. So we're just going to continue our path to the key, of course. We're going to deal with every single mob in our way, because if we don't take these down, it's going to be way more difficult to get to the raid captains after we already picked up some of the banners. Alright, so we just found another raid captain, another pillager, and these are pretty easy to ignore. Let me just get rid of his allies. So he's just the only guy that's standing right here. So once again, we're just going to ignore this guy. And of course, if you open up the map, you can also see the first one which you found. Right now, all we want to do is clear the entire area, get our hands on that blue key, and then advance to the next stage. All right, so here we are at the blue key. We still have a little bit more of the level right there. So I actually want to check out if we can find another raid captain. All right, so we couldn't find another raid captain, so we only have 2 on this floor. So what I'm going to do is just take the blue key, deliver it, and get to the next cellar pretty much. So we can find the other 4 raid captains. And then after we've cleared all the floors, all the areas pretty much, then we're going to take down every single one of them one by one, gather their banners, and then we can complete the mission a lot easier. All right, here we go. Next floor. Let's see where these bad guys are hidden. Okay, we have 2 at the very beginning right here. That's interesting. So this guy is melee. Of course, it's a little bit more difficult to run away from them. Just try and get your roll ready if they get really close. And then just run away as quick as possible. Okay, looks like we found 2 more raid captains right here, guys. So that means right now we can pretty much take down every single one of them. Because we know that the final 2 are right here. And of course, we want to make sure we don't die because of this trap. Let me quickly take the threat banner. It's not very much of a big deal at the beginning. So we know that the gate to the end of the mission is going to be right there. So what we're going to do right now is take down the final guy. Look at that. Another threat banner. So now that we have the exit to pretty much the end of the mission, we can kill every single raid captain. So we have 2 right there. So 2 more raid captains with the banners. And then on the first floor, we have 2 more waiting for us. So if we take every single one of them down right now, of course, we don't have to go through the entire mission and deal with all these pesky mobs. All right, here we go. Next one. Looks like this one survived my Torment Quiver. Ouch. Another mystery banner right here, so that's good. So we have already a 2 times threat increase, 1 time the mob health increase by 80%. This is going to be the 4th banner, so we only have to pick up 2 more, which are of course at the very beginning of this other floor. So we're going to check them out right now. So this is numero 1. So as you can see, they are extremely tanky right now, but the ranged guys aren't too much of a threat in my opinion. What I'm going to do is save my Torment Quiver for the final guy. So here we go. A mystery banner. Mob damage is increased by 160%. So yes, I am very happy that I actually saved my final arrow for this guy. So here he is, the final raid captain. If we beat this one, we have 6 of those banners. And this one actually gives us 45% of the melee mobs are replaced with creepers. But of course, we cleared the entire place already, so we don't have any creepers popping up. We don't have any threats anymore. We have 6 of the banners in total. Of course, we want to be a little bit careful for all these traps. But all we have to do right now is get to the end of the mission safe and sound, which is of course going to be no problem at all if you already cleared every single path. All right, so here we are in the final room. All we have to do is trigger the switch. Get this door open and complete the mission. Of course, if you're doing this without any Luck of the Sea gear, I always recommend you to, at the very end of the mission, equip this bad boy. That gives you some extra luck, so you have a higher chance of finding a unique, because getting a rare as bounty reward is not that nice. All right, returning to the camp. Of course, this is the daily trial reward. Also a pretty nice power level, 256 right there. That is pretty cool. And of course, the next reward right here, this one should have, look at that, a 260 corrupted crossbow. This is also a daily trial unique weapon, so I think that is really cool. So let's check it out for a second. This one is probably gonna have some pretty beefy rolls. Here we go, guys. Void Strike, also Radiant Shot, Prospector, Rapid Fire, and also the Refreshment. This can actually be a very powerful weapon to use for higher Apocalypse Plus as well. So I think this is a really cool one. It has fast multiple projectiles, Dynamo built in, of course also the Refreshment to reduce your cooldown every time when you take down mobs. mobs with a prospector. Of course, you can also benefit from this even if you're killing mobs with a melee. And the Void Strike, of course, one of the most powerful new enchantments to get your hands on in the game, also for ranged. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That is how you do the highest Apocalypse Plus difficulty with my build, and of course how you can deal with raid captains without a problem. Just make sure you clear the entire level, save the raid captains for the very end, then you're just gonna take them down one by one with a Torment Quiver. Of course, make sure to have enough souls, because if you don't have that, and if they have like insane boost of the damage, they will probably one-hit kill you. So guys, big thanks for watching. Definitely make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed watching the video, and of course if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe. It helps me out big time, and of course a lot more is coming your way. Everything is entirely free on this channel. Guys, big thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. 4am out.